Hey everyone, this next episode 25, is featuring Sophia and Andrea. Both of them have been a huge impact in my life. I know a couple of you guys have heard that the last episode was a little spicy, but this one isn't it. This is the first half where we kind of just talk, we kind of shoot the shit. You guys get to learn a little bit about everyone who is a part about this, the podcast. So just stay tuned for that elusive, spicy Can Exes Be Friends episode on Patreon. That one should be out maybe, once we hit 200 subs on YouTube. So tell your friends to sub so you guys can see that as soon as possible. But yeah, this one's going to be a fucking dope episode. I love the both of them, regardless of what you guys think. They are really dope people. They are huge personalities. And so am I. So just stay tuned for all of that other exclusive content. But for this was a really dope one. You get to know a little bit about me, a little bit more, my background, who I was, and all this other stuff. So yeah, just enjoy this episode. This one was a really fun one, all things considered. And yeah, just fucking enjoy. Peace. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the George.Daniel podcast. I am your host, George.Daniel. And before we get to our lovely guest today, Matt, how are we doing?
Chilling, man.
Yeah. How was the weekend?
It was good, man. I worked part of it and then I just chilled. And actually, Rick was on his 2-year anniversary for his YouTube channel. So
okay.
He did like a 5-hour live, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
And he made hella money though, dude. Hella members joined, hella people donated. Fool's making bank already. It's kind of crazy.
Dude, that's great. That's how I'm trying to be. So support, like, comment, subscribe, everyone. It helps me out, helps us out. And yeah, and also, dude, okay. Also, it was Mother's Day this weekend. I want to give a huge shout out to Norma. I love you. Mama, I love you. We're doing this for some reason. I don't know why, honestly. But we're doing it and I love you. I appreciate all the love and support that you do give me always, even on Facebook, which is really cute because no one uses Facebook anymore. But Norma, I love you. But yeah, and a quick little shout out to our sponsor, Liquid Death. You guys can go get that at www.liquiddeath.com or your local convenience store. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome my two lovely guests, Ariana. I almost said Ariana Grande. But that's hella funny.
This one's gonna blow up.
But honestly, low-key. But yeah, we have Andrea Redondo and Sophia Ochoa. And some of you guys, most of you guys actually probably won't know them through the music scene at all. A couple people probably met Sophia during the show at Noit that I had on the 27th of last month. But yeah, and how are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah. Nervous?
Yeah. First podcast.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
Get closer to the mic a little bit,
I was
please.
so fine.
sorry.
Yeah. But
I was so fine until you started.
what are you talking about? Dude, it's just a conversation. We're just having a good time,
I know it is.
It just feels extra official now, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
all of a sudden, now
wild.
you guys are going to be getting your P's and Q's. She doesn't smell anymore.
I said Andrea never smells.
I know. I didn't.
Literally never. I don't know how
No, because I was literally like, I'm sweating in here.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, you don't smell it. I'm like, no, I don't smell. I swear you can smell it.
Dude, nah. Now that you guys said sweat, I'm starting to sweat. So, but this is like this is a really weird episode. Honestly, genuinely.
How so, Danny? Tell us.
No, actually.
It's just like a weird episode for me. Andrea I've known since like 6th grade, maybe even earlier. Earlier, like fucking, like since Slater.
Yeah.
So 3rd grade for me.
Whoa.
Like
That's
that's when I
go
went
way
to Slater. Like it's crazy. And like we've pretty much been in each other's lives for like every little era that we've been trying to accomplish, and failed at and succeeded and blah blah blah. And just like always been around for like the family issues, the relationships, everything, right? And then we also have Sophia, who is my ex from 2018, 2019 to like 2020 or like that. I don't even know. I don't really remember, to be complete. 2017 actually.
We started dating 2017. I think we broke up 2019.
2019. That's the number that I remember the most.
The ending was definitely way
right.
more chaotic than the beginning.
For sure. So as you can see, there's a little sauce in this episode.
gonna say, it's
already spicy.
I didn't even do anything, dude.
my lips are burning.
It's crazy because we all hang out. Like we've been hanging out for like the past like 2 weeks ish. You know,
Yeah.
like constant, like not constantly,
Yeah.
but like consistently. Which has been really cool for me because like I don't hang out with the people I hang out with in the music industry just simply based off like work schedules or just like the proximity of where we live. And then it's just also easier to just be like, I'll check in with you next week. You know, and just we know where we're gonna see each other. We're gonna be at the club. We're gonna just, you know, shoot the shit and fucking not go to sleep. But with you guys, it's been fun to like have like friends, and also like I grew up with pretty much a single mom and a sister and tias. So like I kind of miss my girls, you know, like low key.
It's so
You
true.
do love your girls.
I
Dan.
do, like it's like for real. Like I get
Dan
like
is a girl's girl.
but like for real, I love having platonic relationships with females. Like that shit's fucking sick. And obviously with this group of girls, like one of them wasn't platonic, but like still, like it to me that's so much. It's there's no pressure. Like with dudes, you're always trying to like
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
who has the bigger dick during this conversation, you know? And that's
Doesn't
literally
that get exhausting? And doesn't
It
that
does,
make
that's what
it
I'm
hard
saying.
to have
It's
male
just-
friends if it's always just a pissing contest?
Nah, not at all. Well, it's actually really it's easier because then we get out our anger right then and there. If we even had any sort of like really like any sort of resentment, we'll just like say a joke a little harder. and then like that's it. Then you're just like, oh okay, bitch. Like I see you. Okay, watch, you know. And then you move on to with the next thing. But with like girls, like y'all fucking think. Like you guys actually use your brains. Maybe a little too much sometimes. But at least you're not like guys who just fucking roam around, you know, like dumb apes.
I think it's good to give thoughts to what you're doing and saying. I think it's always good to.
Why are you talking at me right now? We were just having a good conversation.
No, I'm not talking at you. I'm saying it to the group.
Yeah.
But
I think thinking before you speak is a very good quality, and more people need to encompass that.
for sure. Yeah. I definitely now, since we're like going to therapy for the past like 2-ish years, it's been really dope to like sit down and like actually think, you know, like I usually don't take breaks when I speak. And I know that people like my coworkers and stuff, they think I'm really fucking like weird. And I am weird. I'm so weird. I'm so manic. And like all of a sudden I'll be like doing my job. And the next thing you know, I'll be like, oh, no. So like, what are we doing tomorrow? You know? And just like, okay, like either pick, like just stay even keeled. But that, I know that about myself. But I've been working on it. And like you were saying with like the whole taking a break thing, like you guys don't take breaks though. You guys just say it and keep saying it until it makes sense, right? Until like you're like, okay, well, like I'm done crying about it. I already like exhausted every emotion. I already like blah 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 blah. And like now it's just like, what was I really mad about? And then you get to like really figure out what the points that you were mad at, right?
So
that's
yeah,
what I
like-
get when I talk to girls. Like on Saturday, like I always have like fucking mini breakdowns. But like that was like, oh, okay, like I know I'm talking to someone and I'm not like fully directing my anger towards them. It's just a conversation that's happening and I'm just like saying it because I kind of got used to what you guys do a little bit, where it's just like you guys just say it and then after you're gonna be like, oh fuck, like okay, like what was I really mad about? It was like it's not that he did this, it's that he did that. It's not that he blah blah blah. It's just that he didn't show me to do this. And it's just like, okay, well you figured it out kind of, which is really cool. And I know if you guys are fucking music podcasters, whatever, like fuck you. This is gonna be like a more like a an
intellectual
heady ass
friendship,
fucking
yeah.
conversation, yeah. But yeah, like
I think it's always good to, I think, like reflect. And I think as women, like we do a very good job of like, you know, that like I feel like I've read online like multiple things that say like, you know, guys take longer to get over relationships or things, whatever it may be, because they push down those emotions, rather as women we tend to like directly deal with them. So that way like
I wouldn't say that.
I mean,
I actually
well, Andrea is personally a dweller, but I think
Damn.
no, really.
no
Yeah.
shade, but I think like I'm an emotional person. I'll cry my eyes out and I'll feel my emotions, and you know what? I get over it quickly because I allow myself to feel those emotions.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I used to be like that, but now I'm a fucking crybaby. Like everything makes me cry.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. You're getting in touch with your emotions.
That's
No,
what she
I
keeps
think it's just
telling me,
like
but
I think like once you open that faucet, because that's how it was with me, right? Like I growing up wasn't like I didn't cry too often, I guess.
And I also think that goes back to being Hispanic. I mean, well, being Mexican, and like you're like taught to like, you know, hold in your emotions.
I would cry literally like twice a year,
Yeah.
That's insane.
if anything.
Like literally, I remember like I would cry at the most inconvenient times. Like literally, it wouldn't be the thing that like I'm being yelled at. Like in most
like you
of
would
them,
cry in front of groups or
like
something.
groups and fucking at the mall, just like fucking like in front of family and just being like, or at Disneyland and just be like, what the fuck? Why didn't we do this when I was a kid? Like we're bringing in fucking like a 2-year-old who isn't gonna enjoy this, but I'm like, I was a fucking 14-year-old kid who didn't know anything, right? Or like 16-year-old kid. I was just like, dude, like you know, and it's like I was dealing with my own shit, trying to pretend like we were like a happy family when we weren't at Disneyland, you know, and it was just like so weird and like whatever. And then that like a bunch of emotions came out then when we were supposed to be on vacation, you know? And I'm like, dude, I'm such a bitch. like, but like, it's those, like, I don't cry every day. I cry all of a sudden, you know?
Because I think it's like when your body can't, I mean, when you're like, everything has a limit. When you're not dealing with your emotions, it builds up until it comes out. And then it comes out. So it's better to like, okay, I'm upset about it right now. I'm going to cry. Because I don't want to have to deal with this like in a month because I'm resenting my own feelings.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, that's why I think like going to therapy was super helpful.
I love my therapist. Yeah.
I think one of my cousins on my dad's side, she went to Stanford and she's like a psychiatrist, and I want to have her on because I think it would be really cool to get like low key an assessment. Not an assessment legally, but like just a like, you know, just like, oh, like this is knowing you since you were 2 years old. This is how you were, you know, and just seeing someone like with us where we have someone to check back on and being like, dude, remember when you used to like and like or whatever, you know, and I think that's super like super good to have, you know. Like I don't have my mom around anymore, I don't have my sister around anymore, and I don't have my dad, so it's just like I don't really have people to like really like check back in with me constantly and being like, "Mijo, like you did this like 2 years ago," and it was like, well, it's been 3 years that I haven't seen any of you guys, you know.
Wow.
It's crazy, right? And it's just like it sucks.
Imagine not being with my family.
Dude, it's crazy. And it's especially like the way we lived, right? Like and I feel like most people is just like we lived on top of each other, you know, like consistently. Me and my sister shared a room. Me and my mom and my sister shared a room at one point. Like it was
As
just
many people can fit in there, you get in there.
I don't think I've ever had my own room my entire life.
Yeah.
I've always lived sharing rooms, like no matter what. And like even at this point now, being as old as we are, like my siblings technically don't live in the home, but like still like it just feels like we still all live together. Like
which is dope. Which is like what like I wish I could have.
I mean, families
that's how it's,
usually, yeah.
Like the birds leave the nest, you know, but they always come back.
Yeah.
We're supposed to. But yeah, like fucking with my sister being out in Bakersfield and in Bakersfield, it's like it's just so like difficult to like go over there and check in. She has like 3 little ones and everything. But like it's just like so like I wish I can go over there. Also, like if I call, you're probably at work, you're not with your kids, and I love you, but I want to talk to them. You know, like you know, like
The babies.
yeah, the babies, dude, and like shout out to them. They're my fucking heart. But yeah, fucking. Yeah, it was just like it. Like I know we came out like a little hard, heavy on like like some weird emotional conversation.
Dude, I know. What the fuck?
But fucking yeah, dude. This is also like how my week has been. Like we didn't post last week for a reason. It wasn't also because 2 guests canceled, but it was also because like, dude, I was just not feeling it. You know, and you guys should allow me to not feel it, and let me process my shit. But yeah, that's pretty much like what's been going on in my week 2 weeks since you guys have seen me. But yeah, this is on some real like Theo Von shit. Like,
Little 2-week reflection.
yeah, just being like, I'm
past
tired.
week.
Like he's like, I appreciate everything and like all this shit. And I did have people like hit me up and be like, oh, you didn't post this week. And I just did not respond.
Yeah.
Left your ass on red. It's like dry kind of. Sorry. But yeah.
Because I noticed you were posting like old snippets of old videos.
Yeah.
And then that's when you told me today.
Like I literally like to the point where like I didn't even create new clips for the last episode. Like it's still just the flyer, or the thumbnail, which is just like how to show you how I've been like kind of just like out of it. Especially since like I quit my job and I just have so much fucking time and you put all your lip gloss on.
I know,
shit.
I'm sorry. We were considering naming this podcast Lip Gloss on the Joint because
Yeah.
that's what happens when you hang out with two women.
I mean, no.
We're literally putting it on and he's sparking it.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, fucking with you guys, it's been 2 weeks since we've been hanging out. And you guys are like, I mean, we just kind of kick it at my house and just smoke and watch movies.
You made us tacos yesterday.
Yeah, that was my like thank you sorry tacos. Was that like that's my
They
way?
were delicious.
They're just
And
like-
they tasted like you were sorry.
yeah, yeah.
I could feel the apology and how good they tasted.
I mean, I'm also like a pretty okay chef, and I do call myself a
they were
chef.
really
I
good.
don't remember you cooking.
I've never had a taco like that in my life. Okay, I'm a basic bitch.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I don't feel like.
I mean, I cook now. I cook like for myself
sure.
all the time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I just go based off of like what my mom used to do. But I'm missing like some key ingredients. Like I'd be forgetting like cilantro is like a really important thing.
It is very important.
And I'd be forgetting. Also, just like how I only cook.
Wait, do you even like cilantro, Andrea? I feel like every time
So-
we get tacos, you always get it plain with like nothing.
Well, I
like a
yes,
fucking 4-year-old.
but I also
Literally, dude, she eats like a 4-year-old, dude. In and out,
I
she wants a
used to.
plain burger.
yes, but I get lettuce on it. It's just like lettuce only.
And tacos, nothing, no cilantro, no onion.
no, but I get it on the side
Okay.
because I don't like how much they put on it. But I put like my own.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
that's growth,
And then I
people,
put
because she used to get them
salsa.
plain.
Yes, and then I put salsa, lemon.
Because
yeah, I used to get it plain though.
Plain is low-key psychopath, Andrea, especially at a
One time I posted my plain ass tacos and somebody was like, "Those don't look appetizing" or something like that, and I was like, "Fuck you! Are you eating them?" Like, no.
no, but
But
also
yeah, it
don't
makes
post
sense.
them,
Like, why
girl.
would you post some ugly ass tacos?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but
Just posting.
I
eating,
used
like,
to joke.
feeding my
I used to
child.
joke that Andrea was just a chicken tender ass bitch.
I
because
was, though.
She was. She would never expand her horizons. Like she had her 4 restaurants she enjoyed, and only one specific. meal
I kind of am the same way though. Like
No.
No,
like,
Danny,
now-
you don't eat like that.
no,
now
because
I
now it hasn't been until like I got out of high school. Like for in high school, like it was just like, oh, I get it. Like I'm with my boys. I'm with the same crew. I'm with the like like we go to the same places. We all live by the same food spots.
Yes.
Unless those food spots change, we're not changing. Like and it's just like I don't know, just on some like weirdo psycho like local shit. That's how we were.
yeah.
But yeah, I feel like most Mountain View kids have their specific places that they go to. Maldonado's, Mongolian. Am I missing any?
Oh my god, fucking anything that's
In
literally
downtown, anything like I don't know. There's there's like
Grapevine? I mean, I don't know.
for the most part, I guess. But also like we'd go to like Spots Pizza a lot.
Yes, I was
know,
just
like-
thinking that.
Yeah, like those
you
are the
can
places.
get 2 slices of pizza
And a
and a
Coke.
Coke for $5, right?
Dude, that was the plug.
Or Costco?
No one got a card
Yeah.
or a card.
You can go in and just be like, I just want the food. And
Really?
they'll let you in. Yeah.
What?
Pretty sure. I don't know. I've
Yeah,
never
you don't
actually-
need a card for the
Well,
food.
also
Yeah.
we didn't have cars back then. So
Yeah.
we would just go walking distance to school
Yeah.
places.
And usually, like the only reason why I would go to Spots was because during summer school. So we'd go to summer school, then go over there, get a slice, cotorreamos, da 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 da, and then
Go to my house. We would go to my house.
yeah,
after summer.
we would either the girls would go to her house sometimes, and then we'd go with Sergio, or if not, like like we'd all just like fucking
Like
mob over to
neighbors.
one. Yeah,
Hella funny.
yeah, it's fucking crazy.
That's where I don't resonate because I actually didn't grow up in Mountain View, but I know all of you guys, which is just very funny.
Everyone thinks that Sophia's from Mountain View, and everyone thinks that I'm from Sunnyvale.
That's crazy.
When she went to school in Sunnyvale, and I've always been in Mountain View.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just because of like at first like Marauders.
Yes.
It started with Marauders, and then all of a sudden you guys branched out from Sunnyvale to Mountain View.
We started off in Sunnyvale and then went to.
Right. So I think that's where it stems from. That's what I'm assuming, you know? But yeah, that's fucking crazy. Dude, I haven't thought about Marauders in so fucking long. Speaking of Marauders, Dylan Hofling, he might come on the podcast.
Cool.
Yeah, you know, he's a DJ now also.
Yes.
Yeah, with Diego and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, they've been throwing events and they've been actually like popping off. They look fucking sick. So like that would be really cool. And they like spin like R&B and hip hop and it's real sexy and smooth. And he kind of like, do you know, did you ever watch like the Joe Budden podcast or like clips? Oh, there's this white guy named Rory, and like literally, if we can put a side by side of Dylan and Rory, it's insane. It's insane. But yeah, fucking.
That's funny. You know who I used to look like? Shaun White.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I swear, dude. I used to have like reddish hair, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I remember that era.
And
Yeah.
I had a photo where I had no makeup on, right? White as fuck. And I'm like staring like hella ugly. And then my cousin put it next to the Shaun White photo and I was like, dude, he looks like me. And she sent it to everyone and they were like, what?
That's hella funny, dude. That's hella funny.
If I have it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah. We'll put it up.
Hilarious to put
That'd
in
be
the episode.
so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Oh man. But okay, so with you guys, I know Andrea, you do photography and everything, and we'll get into that, and like you guys can links under the description. Everything will be there. Don't worry. You guys can holla at your girl, get your photos.
Takes
taken.
amazing photos.
Get your photos taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Sophia's
also,
gonna model for me too, by the way.
Yeah,
soon.
I will.
yeah.
Naked.
Yeah, she's been asking me for a long time, and I've just
Like
been dodging.
on the beach with flowers, just like nude.
It's gonna be very classy.
Yes.
Very classy.
Everything you do is classy.
It is.
Yeah, I know.
That was very backhanded, but you know what?
Dude, I'm in that list. You don't think that like?
I have my shit together, people.
Oh my God, we're kidding.
Somewhat.
These are jokes.
I'm sensitive.
I know, mostly on camera. Because if not, like she would have said something. You know, she would have usually said something
I'm
bad.
sensitive all the time, and these two both know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Cancer.
but have you ever modeled before?
No.
Dude, that's crazy. Dude, being in front of the cameras is way different. Like I'm like
I am so uncomfortable in front of the camera.
It's so weird.
I'm so awkward.
Yeah. Like I think also it's because we traumatize each other on Snapchat and shit.
Yes, Andrea
You know?
also has the worst videos of me. This past Saturday when we went out, like I was just enjoying my McDonald's, just trying to sit there, and I wake up to flashes and laughter because these two are taking pictures of me while I am like so gently
I
asleep.
hella forgot about that.
They're horrible.
Dude. Yeah. But no,
That,
yeah.
and that is such a Mountain View kid thing, is to take horrible and mean pictures when you're at your most vulnerable state, and they're like, this is hilarious, let me film all of this, and you're like, okay.
Dude.
Do you know? Oh my god, I have videos. I already told you guys I have videos of everyone.
Yeah.
but I know
Andrea
people have
has-
videos of me too.
Andrea has shit on
Embarrassing ass
everyone.
videos.
Dude. Nah, yeah. But that was such a fun era. Like that
So
era,
fun.
like that
What,
era.
so
of-
2016, 2017.
2016.
2015, like right when we graduated till like 2017, that era of us going to festivals, fucking doing all this shit, just like fucking hang out every single day, having jobs and no responsibilities.
Yeah, that
Absolutely
was amazing.
zero responsibility outside of like, you know, paying rent or whatever, you know. But like, yeah, literally the most fun. I was such a delinquent. I destroyed my car. Like, dude, it
Wait,
was
you mean when
crazy.
I destroyed your car?
Oh, I didn't. Yes, there's that. Oh yeah, she got destroyed by fucking Betsy, man, dude.
Betsy, she went through a
Dude,
lot.
Betsy fucking was my ride or die. Honestly.
And that was all three of us in the car when that happened.
Camry?
the Camry, dude.
Wait,
yeah.
I don't remember.
The Camry?
Okay, so this was hard summer, what, 20...
I remember.
Yeah,
This was what, 2017, 2018?
maybe 2017.
2017. And so I think we had all partaked in some, you know,
I just couldn't drive, so I couldn't drive.
late night. No. The honest answer was all three of us could not drive. We had all partaken in some party festivities throughout the day.
It's a festival.
It is a festival. Don't act like everyone who goes to festivals. Don't act like you don't know what we're
completely
talking
forgot
about.
that this happened, dude.
Dude, honestly,
Like I totally
I honestly,
forgot about
I
it.
honestly, I don't remember.
It is seared into my brain.
When I think about that moment, I think about the car ride back. Not
Yes.
like that's what I think about. Is
Oh,
like,
you mean our car ride back from all the way from LA back to?
the car ride back
because of the
car
fucking
ride back.
hood.
Yeah, girl.
Dude, everything like, oh my god, and like I didn't know how to tell my mom.
That was
and, like,
the
all
worst
this
week
shit.
of me and Danny's relationship. Well, one of them.
Like literally, like it was just so fucking. But also, it was like, nah. I honestly, I wasn't even like. I was mad at like the car crash because then we couldn't go to day 2. But that second day, like outside of like us like fixing the tire and like tying down the hood and all this shit, like we still had leftovers, so we just like did it and had fun.
Yeah,
like
we
that's the
did,
part that like
and
you
me
don't
and Danny
want to
had
remember.
the
But like we had a
sickest-
good time, dude. We had a
sickest
jacuzzi in the
motel.
house.
Yeah, we had a jacuzzi in the motel, which was so sick. Like, when does that ever happen? And it looked like the sketchiest motel when we first got there. We were like, should we even stay here?
Yeah.
And then it was like,
It was kind of tight.
it was a prime ass room.
Yeah.
It had a jacuzzi inside.
In the room?
Yeah,
in the room.
Like literally living room. Dude, my dumbass first thing gets naked, turns on the jets.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude, like literally turns
That's
on the
why-
jet, but no water to fill the pool. Like it's just going everywhere.
Yeah, but that was funny. But I mean, okay, so going back to that night, Betsy. So no one was good to drive technically, but they were all like, Sophia, you didn't take as much as everyone else.
I mean, it wasn't
Is
your
that
fault.
what it was?
It wasn't
Yeah, that
even
is what it
remember.
was.
But it
because
wasn't your fault. It
I was
wasn't your-
having a lot of anxiety just in general, and so
I didn't know this. I could have.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, and so we get in the car, and I'm the newest one to have my license. Danny and Andrea were mentioning how it's so funny that I never drive. And
Oh my god, we did say
Literally,
that.
literally like
and
30 seconds before.
No, truly. So we were going up
That's so true.
a
Oh, I
ramp,
feel
and
bad.
so
This was at Pomona Speedway. So if you've ever been a hard summer, you get out. There's only one exit. You have to go through the overpass in order to get to the freeway to go south or north, wherever your hotel is or whatever. But fucking literally, Sophia is driving, and like I'm in the passenger seat, being a passenger princess.
and Andrea's in the back, and Danny and Andrea are both joking about how I'm a terrible driver, which is pretty accurate.
Well, no, you brought up the fact it was like Danny never lets me drive his car, like all this
Yes.
stuff, and
Yeah.
And
you
then he's
brought
like,
it up.
fine, I'll let you or
And
whatever.
then you started driving and then all of a sudden you're like, see, like I'm like blah blah blah. You were talking
remember.
about
I was hyping myself up
driving,
as
Dude,
I
and then
remember
literally you turn around and say like, da, 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 Danny never lets me, and then next you know, boom, you hit a car, and then we like the car behind us hits
sorry,
us.
it's so funny.
No. It was just me, except there was a line of 5 cars in
Dude,
front of me.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And they were all so tightly close together. It was like
because it was
boom, boom,
downhill
boom,
kind
boom,
of.
boom.
Luckily, we were like it was a 5-car like crash technically, but the 5th car didn't hit me hard. It just like tapped me, but it hit me harder to like hit the
Push
other
it,
guy.
yeah.
So it like fucked up my hood that much more.
So the first 3 people in front of that person we hit were like, it's all good. We're tired. We want to leave this festival, so it's good.
Their car was fine.
Yeah. The one in front of us, not so
He got
good.
sandwiched.
Yeah.
Like he was sandwiched between 2 other cars. That some of like it was bad.
And dude, this happened while everyone's leaving the festival. So everyone has their windows down with the music on. They're just like, and everyone's
Yeah.
staring at us. Like
And
everyone's
everyone's
just
like, "Are you good? Are you good?" And of course, police officers everywhere. And I was like, "This is it.
Yeah.
I die now."
Dude, we were in LA. It was Memorial Day weekend. Like literally, like in my head, I'm like, I'm not gonna see a mechanic until Tuesday. We have to get to work or school or whatever we needed to do. And it was just like, fuck, dude. Like we need to get home somehow. And radiator was cracked. The whole hood was concaved in. Luckily, it was concaved
It looked
in.
like an accordion. It had just been smashed in.
Dude, it was nasty. It was and then
it's
we
not
had to
funny.
drive. Then we,
It was.
no, dude, no. But it was like, in hindsight, it's kind of hilarious. But
It
like,
is hilarious,
but, like-
especially because I was literally like, "You guys don't think I'm a good driver?"
dude, like literally immediately, and I've never like experienced like karma that quickly. Like it was just so instant, and it was a fuck you to me still. Like,
dude, we had just left too.
We
right?
had just
we were
left.
like, where are we gonna
barely
go?
getting
Like da
out.
da da da. Like, are we gonna go to your hotel or
Yeah.
are we gonna go? Because we were like, oh well, if we're gonna drop him off, we might as well fucking
Yeah.
stay there.
But it was just Andrea, because I think whoever you were with had ditched you, or were
It was Lachelle, right?
yeah, Lachelle. ditched you.
And yeah, she was nowhere to be found. Luckily, we got in a car crash.
No,
and then
and
we
do you
found
remember
her.
she came, and then we were all so pissed at her.
Dude, I've never knocked out of sheer just like emotion. I wasn't like angry. I was just in shock. I was on drugs. Like I was just like, what the fuck do I do? How do I get out of this? Like all like my insurance and all this shit. You
And
know?
as
Like,
I
Wait,
always-
was this on the last day? No.
no,
This was
for
first
day
day.
one,
That's
dude.
why- that's why
Day
we didn't
one,
go
I
to
didn't
day
get to
two.
see RL Grime. I didn't get to see anything, and I was just like, dude, what are we doing? Like, so mad. And then we ended up selling our tickets.
We sold our tickets, and then I had a fake ID at the time, so we bought like a 12-pack of Corona, and we sat in that hot tub in our hotel forever, and then we went out swimming, and I think we got Chinese food and called it a day. Then we drove back home with that broken-ass car the next day.
Yeah,
And
we had to
called-
leave dead ass like at 4
Yeah,
because I was
crack
like,
acid dawn,
I was
because
like,
we
dude,
didn't want to deal with the police.
well, one, the police, two, the radiator's cracked, the whole hood is exposed essentially. Like if it's like 90 degrees, this car can just like fucking you know just shoot the shit
and so
in the middle of 5, you know.
So yeah, so we were driving back, except Danny goes, we're about to go up the grapevine. He goes, I can't drive. I'm tired. You're going to have to drive. And I literally was having a straight up panic attack. I was like, I just crashed this car and you want me to drive it up the grapevine?
I'm like, dude, you have to just drive up and let go of the gas. Just stay in between the lines.
And
I was like, I
I
just
just crashed your car just trying
That's how much. See, that's how much trust I have in you.
No,
Still.
I was pissed at you. I
Like,
was,
dude,
I was
that's
driving.
like, dude, like,
I was
No.
driving over the grapevine and you were sleeping. I was like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, because you were dead asleep.
So I was dead. Oh, you were telling me that?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes okay. That's fair. Yeah, I was dead asleep, and then the thing that woke me up was she hit the brakes, and just that sheer like I was just
Oh
like,
my
oh.
Because I was traumatized. I was like, I can't drive this car anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
dude,
I
that was
pulled
so
over.
fucking funny. Like I guess she was.
And was that your
Telling me
first time
off, you
driving
know.
that?
Yeah, and my hands were sweating, and so like the wheel kept slipping out of my hands, and I was like, "This is just so bad."
Yeah, my favorite part was driving
You
up
should
to
have
the
just
gas.
fucking drank some Red Bull.
Well, I mean, we needed to get over the thing.
Then we
but-
drove up to the gas.
the gas station, and then I was just like, just park the car, and she's like, where do I park it? Where do I park it? And I was like, anywhere, just like literally anywhere.
Let's be real. I had my license for maybe a year at that point.
That's I mean, it's long enough. I mean, we were also 19 too.
We were 19,
No, you were 20.
possibly.
You're old. She's older than you.
Mm-hmm.
You little cougar.
I know.
I mean. Oh man. Hey guys, real quick before we get back to the show, I just want to let you guys know that I will be playing June 11th in Sacramento at Flamingo House, day party. Meraki fam, we out. Please come through. If you're out there in Sacramento or in the area, just pull up with me. If not, dude, hit me up. I'm gonna be driving from San Jose, so let me know if you want to ride. And I'll be there. Day parties, Meraki fam, pull up. It's gonna be a good time. Flamingo House on June 16th. I will be back in San Jose at Noite. It's gonna be a good ass time. We Grew fam. Shout out to all of them. Mario, Kenny, and I, and many more are gonna be playing. So that's gonna be a good ass time. I'm not gonna be opening, so pull up. It's gonna be fun. And yeah, dude, it's gonna be tight. All the links are gonna be underneath in the description, so make sure you click all that to get all your information. And yeah, go ahead and skip the rest of this shit and get back to the show. Peace. All right, fam. I am gonna be dropping a mix the first week of June, so stay tuned for that one. It's gonna be on the DNA radio. Shout out Ednas. He was one of our guests with Napa and Fern Shore. It's gonna be dope. It's honestly one of my cleanest mixes. So like, please check that out. It was so much fun making that. I woke up at like 9:30 in the morning and literally listening to half that mix in my head already. So just like, you know, if you wanted a little oomph for your day, just fucking go ahead and look at that. The link is in the description down below. Make sure you check that out. Give it a like, give it a comment, fucking repost it on SoundCloud. It would mean the world to me. But yeah, we out here DJing again. And yeah, it's a booty bumping type of mix. So thank you guys. Check that out, and let's get back to the show. Peace. But yeah, okay. So I think I was gonna bring up the fact that one, you do photography, and then two, right now you're on your way to go to college and do and finish up your 2 years. To be and your goal is at some point to become a fucking whatchamacallit, a fucking social worker. There we go. I don't know why I was thinking. I was thinking all I could
A social
think of-
person?
Yeah,
Social person?
like social. No, I was thinking of social security numbers. I don't know why that was the only thing.
No.
But a social worker. But with that, like, where do you think? Because I don't think I can work with people, like just people. Like that to me just seems like anxiety ridden.
What do you mean?
Like just to be like, what's your problem? How can I help
you
you? Like,
work with
you know, because then
people.
I'll just
Okay.
take on so much of that
It
burden.
is.
You know, and it just seems really draining. But like, you seem like a person who is just like is more willing to do it than like others, obviously, because I'm not. But what makes you like? What do you think that like growing up, I guess, like gave you that like want or like maybe even a need to like help people?
I think personally, I carry like social responsibility. I think, you know, and I was learning about this in one of my psych classes that we all have like this level of agreeableness. And basically this comes on kind of a spectrum of like, okay, do we live in a just world? Most people believe we do or we don't. I believe we do. I think everyone is deserving of shelter, food, clean water, you know, and support in whatever ways they need. And I think like not a lot of other people feel like that. You know, when I have conversations about, specifically I'm thinking of one I had with my sister, and she's a business major, and she was like, I just really don't understand why you want to like, you know, why would you get this job that's not going to pay you very well, and then you're not going to be able to pay back your loans. And I'm essentially like, but I think it's necessary. And I think like, you know, regardless if I'm going to be making money at this, I think there's a lot of people who are deserving of help. And, you know, I've always felt the need to help people. Like I don't know, I see people struggling, and I think there's so many resources in this world, and there's so many loving and caring people and people who go through a lot. And I think it just takes one person to really just like see them for who they are and say, like, you know, you are deserving of all these things, and like, let me find you the resources in order for you to live this life you want to live and that you deserve. Because like, I don't know, I feel a social responsibility. I genuinely feel like I am not really living my life to make money. That's never been something I've worked towards. I don't need materialistic things. I am very much a socialist in the aspect that I think like all we really need are just like, you know, the basic necessities to survive. I don't think anyone needs necessarily more than that. I mean, imagine, like, you think of all these houses that are occupied by two people that have like 18 rooms and however many the fuck bathrooms. And it's like, do you really need that? When we see the amount of people living out on the street, like, it's insane. Like the like social inequality that currently occurs in this country, it's just insane. And the fact that we don't address it more when it's definitely something we can solve is just really sad and disheartening. And, you know, I know that it's like a lot of people look at the situation, they think like, you know, what can I really do as an individual? Which like leaves, you know, they're like, okay, well, other people are dealing with it, or like it'll, you know, whatever. That's not me. That's not something that affects my family. Why should I care? But I don't feel that way at all. I care very much that the fact
I feel that.
like, people are suffering.
I just feel like right now, I think honestly with the internet, it kind of fucked up a lot of things. There's too many people with voices and not enough people with ears. And it's just like everyone always gets that instant gratifications when you post and you like release it into the fucking ether of the internet. And no matter if you're tweeting, you're posting a picture, blah, blah, blah. If it's just about you, if it's about something social, blah, blah, blah. But it's just kind of numbed what is a conversation.
I think also on that, like, I think it's made people far more narcissistic. They're like, if it's not affecting me, why the fuck should I give a fuck about it?
Yeah. But I think people like, just because like ignorance is a bliss because something's happening over there, but you're ignorant to it.
Right. And so like
that doesn't mean that it's not like things aren't happening.
Exactly.
You know?
Like one big example I'm thinking of when I'm talking about this is like I was with two friends. We were crossing the street in San Jose. There was someone obviously overdosing on drugs. He was like clearly like falling over in the street. And
Shout out San Jose zombies.
Exactly. And we had just crossed the street, and the two people I was with, I saw this guy stumbling, and I was like, we should go help him. Like, what's going on with him? Both of them were like, I don't know. It's not really my problem. Like, I don't really care. And to me, I was like, I just can't leave that. Like, this feels to me like the bystander effect. Like, I'm like, everyone sees something bad happening and they're always assuming, oh, someone else is going to, yeah. And then it's like, yeah, we make all these assumptions. In reality, who's actually calling 911? Who's actually helping this person?
Dude,
no
I get into so many potential fights because of that. Like, I'm the small one, and I know that, and I'm never going to win the fight. But I'm also not going to be the one who escalates it. You know, so I like if two people are beefing in the bar, I'll be the first one to be like, yo, what are we doing? Like, what's up? Like, da da da. And I'll be looking up at them, and they're all mad, and they're like, what do you want? And I was just like, dude, like, can I buy you a drink? Let's go over here. You know, and just like, you know, it usually de-escalates stuff. But at the same time, I'm also the first one if I see some shit at like a festival or something. Like we were at a Countdown like 2-3 years ago, and this guy was kind of like low-key groping a girl. Yeah, so and I was just like, and I was like a couple rows behind, and I saw it, and I was like, all right, maybe one, I can't say anything, but then like it was like 2 songs deep, and this is EDM, this is 6 minutes long, you know, it was just like, dude, all right, so I went over there, I said some shit, and like she didn't say anything because she was with her friends, so she didn't want to, and he was part of the other friend group, I guess, so like she didn't want to be like, you know, but at the same time, like it didn't happen again, but he was like really, really angry, obviously. Also super fucked up. But like, again, he was like, well, I'll beat the shit out of you. Why, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, like, do you want me with my glasses or without? Like, you know, it's like, you like, regardless, you're going to win, but it's just like, how do you want it? You know, like, you know, and like literally like his guy friends laughed, and that was it. You know, it's just like, all right, well, like I'm over here. If I see that if I see it, you're in front of me. You know, like if you're gonna do it behind closed doors. You fucking freak. You know, you're a nasty dude, but like you're a nasty dude. And like yeah, but like I'm always the first. Like I'm usually the first one to say some shit. Usually the first one to like jump in front of a fight, just because like I know luckily because of my stature, I can kind of control the situation a little bit. Yeah, but that's cool. That's awesome that you like kind of like realize like the individual duty that we have to kind of provide help in any way. Whether that's a friend reaching out and being like, hey dude, like why'd you post that? Oh, blah blah blah. You know, just like always fucking reach out, dude. You never fucking know. Seriously. But like it's like those things. And then with you, Andrea, like you doing like photography and everything, me and you didn't really grow up creative.
No.
You know, like we were like pretty like brown kids, you know, with like brown ass parents, you know, and like blah blah blah. So like I remember like being in elementary school, you were a cheerleader, and then once again I always hang out with females. So it was just like it would be me, Felipe, and some other dude every once in a while. I was
literally gonna say you were just always with Felipe. That was just my memory.
And it's just like us, and we'd be doing their cheers with them and shit, and like everything, just because it was just like, oh well, like it's just fun. Like I don't gotta pretend like, you know, like I gotta hit on the 5th graders when I'm in 3rd grade. Like what, like you know, it's just like what are we doing here? Like I still want to I just want to play. I'm here for the lulz, you know. Like what are we doing?
The lulz.
Like, but like seriously, it was, so like. I feel like we found our creativity in different ways.
Well, I wouldn't say that I wasn't like creative. I just wasn't out there with it. Because like at home, I would always sing and dance with my family, or like we would make YouTube videos with my cousins, or like I was always like into doing stuff like that.
Yeah,
like making videos, fucking taking photos, even like making little mixtapes on the CDs, like I was telling you, like that shit. And I always like loved like making music. I never made music, but I'm saying like if someone would
you would be the first one to be like yo,
I would be making beats and shit. Me and my cousin would look up what are they called, instrumentals or whatever on YouTube, and we would just like freestyle over them.
Oh my god, I love
dude, we would go in. Like
Spit
I
a
wish,
hot one right now.
dude. No, fuck
what?
no. I wish like we had videos of us doing
Yeah.
it because like that would be so
Like I
fun.
remember one time, like literally, like speaking on like making videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like us, Emily, and a bunch of like I think it was like Dwight, Dylan, and Eric, and we made like a music video to fuck.
Stop.
I forgot what song it was. That LeBron James song with Eminem, Drake, and everyone.
I don't know.
Fuck.
Wait, which one?
Which one? It's LeBron James song.
It's for his fuck.
Drake
but
song?
It's Drake, Lil Wayne, Eminem, and someone else. It might be Jay-Z actually. Forever.
Is it Forever?
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm sorry.
That's about Kobe
Can you play
Bryant?
it?
No,
Oh, shit.
LeBron James.
LeBron
LeBron James. I was like,
I get my basketball players confused.
should we play it?
Oh, we'd get demonetized immediately.
Well, like what? How does it go? Just like dude,
We can play up to 15 seconds. of it.
okay.
We can play up to 15 seconds.
just sing it.
I don't know. I don't know
Oh.
it like off the top.
Okay. Oh yes.
Yeah.
I know which one.
Wait, I still want to hear it.
I love this song.
Such a weird intro to a music video.
I know. Oh, that wasn't even. Okay. We can't play too much of it because we're gonna get
Dude, what's
demonetized.
that? Came on.
Yes.
You already knew. But no, we made a music video to that, and it was so fucking funny.
When you said the names, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I've never even heard a song with them, but now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but like, yeah, just little things like that. I remember like, I don't remember actually if it was with you specifically, but we would go on like Omegle and shit and just
Oh
do
my
like weird
God.
shit, like weird, just like
Omegle was such an
Dude.
weird, scary, like internet void. Like
It was just like penises everywhere.
it was a lot of penises. It was a lot of like coming across strangers and like I don't know. That was so interesting. What an interesting
I would go on it
period.
with my cousins all the time
dude.
too.
I would go on it all the time with
We would just do dumb shit like on the camera and like make them laugh.
Yeah. It was just so weird. It was just weird to like, we would just be on it for like 10 minutes and we were like, all right, we saw like enough dicks, right? Yeah.
It's over now.
We're good, right? Like it's over. But yeah, it was like, oh, and like, okay. So with that being said of like how you like to be creative and like you have to like do like,
Like, dude, I have so many YouTube videos that I made, but no one can see them.
dude, put them on
Well,
Patreon.
No, I have some that people can see. Like, I
Well,
did a
in
little
terms now, how did that transition to your photography?
videos
I mean, just in
because I was
general.
always like taking photos, but I wasn't like I just didn't post them.
It's so weird. I didn't realize how much of like an internet kid you were, like how deep you were as like a kind of like not internet, but like kind of like cyber, I guess, like in a way. Like most of the people that we grew up with were like, if you were a dude, you were heavy into sports and you were into Call of Duty, or you were like a girl who was like trying to be a chola but not a chola, and like
I'm just kidding. No, just
like,
kidding.
and like and yeah, for the most part, that was pretty much it. And it was just like, it was so freaking weird. It like, I felt like I was just such an in-between kid everywhere I went. Like no matter where I went, I was just like, I know I'm just happy to be here, you know, type shit. Whether that be with like Jesus group or soccer or like, you know, just like everything, anything I did, I was just like, oh, okay, I'm the weird one. Whether that means I'm either the too hood one or the ghetto kid, or I was like so white. You know, and it, like I feel like you found your core group of friends, but you were so willing to go and meet these other groups, which is why
I feel like I was always like that. Like at school, I would always talk to like the weird kids. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like I don't know. I would just talk to everybody.
Yeah.
You're cool with me. I'm cool with you.
exactly, and like I feel like I think that's what like. I think the energy that I gravitated to with you when we were like growing up and everything. Cause like, yeah, like I said, I only hang out with females, but I hang out with a very select few. It was Caitlin, Alana, and you. Like those were my high school girls. Like, and that was it. I'd never did anything, you know, like those are just my girls and that was it. And we hung out and we cried together and we fucking, you know, like, and then like I'd go with the boys and be like, what's good? Where are we going? Where the hoes at? You know, like, but yeah, like literally like that's how I played my life for the most part. And then like the last couple of years, like I didn't have a girl group of friends. I had all my dude friends, but I didn't have a girl group of friends. And so like it would just be weird, like crying with your boys, you know, just being like, dude, I'm a piece of shit. I fucking hate myself. I think I'm gonna check myself in, like, like all this shit. And I'm just like there, and they're like, dude, you're fine, like all this shit, you're good. And I'm just like,
They're just like,
yeah, they're just like, dude, you're good.
They're there.
Yeah.
They're there.
And like it's been like a transition, right? Which is why I'm so thankful for fucking therapy, because then I can just like do my bullshit there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not bullshit. Don't undermine your emotions.
but I mean,
and blah, blah,
you
blah.
should have friends that you can talk to. Like Sophia's my therapist.
For sure.
I know, and I tell her constantly, get a real therapist. I have
Yeah.
zero.
But also like I don't like but like also like
It's so true.
I don't like text people and be like, hey, like every day, like I don't text people every day. Like I hang out with people.
Yeah.
You know, like
I
that's
mean,
how
we
I
hang
am.
out.
I know,
and we
but
also
text every day.
And we also
Yeah.
send voice memos.
Yeah, a lot of voice memos, but it's mostly
I just send
all,
memes. That's my like, hey, how you doing? Like,
and see, like that's exactly the equivalent from like boys to girls. It's like boys will send each other memes. Me and Andrea are sending each other like 4-minute long like voice
No, like,
messages, being
more.
like, "Girl, I love you. I support you. Don't be sad today. You are amazing. You are great. You are beautiful, and you are capable."
dude,
And,
Christian sent me a meme and I cried.
okay,
Dude,
I guess you guys can't get emotional.
Literally, no, but it's because I saw it and he wasn't there. You know, it's just like, oh, dude, you didn't know how much I needed that. Like, and then I just went on my day. But
Okay.
you can also ask.
Can I have another beer?
But yeah,
Have
no,
you seen
it's
the
just
one where they're like, "Can I get the bill?" They're like, the bill. I love it. I asked for one too.
I'm putting them over
I
here.
pues. Pass them all around.
Um,
This is what happens when you drink with all Mexicans. We're gonna finish this model, all these models.
I mean, there's 3 of us.
Is that the
12
one that
of
you
them.
grabbed at the store?
But okay, so with that said, I guess like there's been a couple things that I've been seeing a lot in the Twitter world. That like
Twitterverse?
that kind of like caught my eye a little bit. Caitlyn Jenner's a fucking transphobic person apparently, which is
How so?
so fucking crazy. She apparently was like talking on, I want to say like CNN, and then they were talking about the sorority that allowed a transgendered male to female to come on and be
So a
a part of-
transgender female. is
Yes,
what you-
but I'm dumbing it down for all of us, you know.
Gotcha.
And so like they allowed her to come on, and then after the fact they kind of like backtracked a little bit, and it's just so unique. This time is so weird.
It's changed.
It's just no. There's just
Oh,
there's
it's
just
constantly
so,
changing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's why
exactly. It's always been changing, but the thing is, like right now, I think it's just like there's so many different conversations happening. You know, like in the 50s, racism, 60s, 70s, like
Still racism.
racism, but now
Always
it's like
racism.
but it's that's always in the mix, but it's like more so like now it's like, oh, okay, like economic inequality,
Inequalities.
you know, and then you know it was like 50s was still racism, 60s was women's rights, 70s was the peace fucking, you know, like we don't want to go to
Anti-war,
war,
yeah.
anti-war. 80s was like, all right, let me get my money up. 90s, it was the best time to be an American. Apparently it was like when things were just being printed out
Yeah.
and everything, but there was so much other shit going on, right? Whether that be with Iraq, whether that be with the LA riots, you know, like so much going on. And then also like coming into the early 2000s or the 10s,
boom.
there was the tech boom, you know, and that was like that whole everything just opened up. And we're like the guinea pigs. We were the kids during that, you know, like I had a MySpace in 5th grade. Why? Looking at Tila Tequila and shit.
I love Tila Tequila.
She's kind of crazy now.
Oh,
A little crazy now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, I still kind of fuck with Kanye a little bit. A little bit. I like his music, dude.
I do too, but I have no Kanye music.
I don't have anything past My Beautiful Dark. Oh no, St. Pablo.
Well, see, like, and that's kind of the question is like, when do you separate the art from the artist, you know, like, you know,
Well, okay, so speaking on that, you read fucking this Bukowski guy, right? And he was also a misogynist and all this shit, but you glorify him sometimes.
I don't necessarily glorify him. I enjoy his writing because I resonate with a lot of it. I resonate with being, you know, a very depressed, kind of like in
but you
search
still
for inspiration individual.
But the way you talk about it is like the way he writes, the way he could, like, you know.
he did articulate
I think
his
it's the same for music.
For
though.
sure, that's my point. That's my point.
Yeah, that's a
Where
very
it's
good
just like,
comparison
yeah.
in terms of like, yeah, he was a very.
'Cause you can do all those things with music.
Yeah, you know, and he
Very
did. He
much
did,
so.
dude. The fucking All Falls Down. When I heard that, I was like, damn, dude. Like, he talked about
Through the Wire.
Through the
so
wire, I was about to
much
say,
shit.
Through the Wire, he recorded that shit
Literally.
Yeah.
with his jaw wired shut.
Yeah.
And it's one of the best songs I've ever heard.
So good.
Yeah, and just like shit like that, where it's just like, dude, like even fucking, you know, shoot me, I don't care. But Michael Jackson, every once in a while, like some of that shit, like was one of the first English songs that my mom introduced me to. So it was just like it's like near and dear to my heart of me dancing with my mom. You know, like you're not gonna take that away from me. Like, sorry,
No,
little
yeah,
boys.
no. If I hear Kanye playing, I'm not gonna be like, turn it off, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I just don't have it saved.
Yeah,
on my
R. Kelly is a different person. I cannot ever listen to him and be okay. I cannot ever watch.
So then where do you draw the line? Where
If
is,
I don't give a fuck about you, that's where I draw the line. If I care, if I like your shit, then you know.
He's like, if you're a murderer, he'll love you.
Dude, OJ didn't do it.
well, here's the thing: is I think everyone is also deserving of second chances. Like I feel like
Yeah, but if you
people-
murdered someone, you should definitely, you know, if you
Oh,
actually like, you know,
100%.
It
like,
depends
for sure. But also like with me,
who you
with
murder.
like, I mean, I kind of feel
It's
that.
true,
I feel that. I kind
yeah.
of feel that to an extent.
Like, dude, the people who go to jail for murdering their rapists, like,
yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, I get it, you're killing
Yeah.
them, but like, dude, come on, what
Yeah.
they
You should
get,
did,
like, a
like,
week.
what they did, they have to
Yeah,
live
just
with
like a
that.
slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just be like, no more of that.
No
But
more of
also,
that,
we're
right?
so sorry
But
that
also,
happened.
good
Do
job.
you need anything? You know, like, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, it's insane. Like, oh, I watched like this video of like a guy or their father. They were like testifying against an Olympic coach who sexually assaulted and or raped his 3 daughters.
What the fuck?
Yeah, insane. Just wait for the Netflix doc, honestly.
Jesus.
Yeah, but it like he was just like the judge was giving everyone final words because he already got sentenced and blah blah blah. He was gonna do like 109 or like 109 years or some shit like that, right? So he's going to jail for life. But then the dad was still so upset and still he was just like, hey, Your Honor, like, I know you're gonna make this seem out like a joke, but I don't really mean this. Like, can you give me 4 minutes with him alone? You know? And then she was like, I can't allow that. You know, and like blah blah blah. He was like, just 30 seconds. You know, and he was just like all this shit. And then next thing he just bolts over to him. And then of course he gets tackled by like 16 cops, you know. But like that
I think I've seen that.
I feel like I saw that video too.
yeah. It's been floating around. But like,
Yeah.
like it was just like, dude, like I can only imagine like the amount of like anger to try to like hurt someone
Yeah, I
as
didn't
much
know
as they
the-
hurt
I
you.
didn't know the
Like I get it, but also like it's it's just like such
It's you know everyone in those situations. Like
yeah, that's what I mean. This is just
Yeah.
like revenge. Revenge is cool. Don't get me wrong. Revenge is fucking sick. But it's better to do it happen sick. Like, you know, like I worked hard on my job. I got the promotion. You didn't. You know, versus like, oh, let me talk shit about this guy in order to get my promotion. Like that's not. There's the difference. You know, and both are sweet, but one's gonna cost you. And yeah, that's what that video really like fucking got me. But also, I don't remember how we got into
But
it.
an eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind.
Yeah,
That-
but honestly, if we don't see shit, then what happens, right?
you don't see shit.
Dude, honestly, wow, that fucked my own head up.
Oh my God.
Philosophical shit.
Dude.
No, I think, we all have morals. We all have our boundaries. And I think vengeance and revenge are very overrated. I think, you can be angry at people. You want to get back at them. And I think when you do, it never feels truly satisfying because you're stooping to their level. And it's like, if I'm doing the same thing they're doing to me, then how much better am I than them?
True.
And so I think it's always better to take the high road, as hard as that is. I think, in the end, it's good to have morals and beliefs and stick to them. I think that.
But I can't sit here and lie to people and like, you know, lie to myself also and be like, nah, like sometimes I like that shit. I really do like that shit. Like I say all the time when I like talk about peace, love, and, you know, whatever the fuck. Like that's cool and it's awesome and I love that community because it's like my other half where I just like I genuinely want to be a good person. But I did also grow up being like, nah, fuck that. Like I did that. Like I like, and also you fucked me over. So fuck you, fuck everything else, you know? And like I get like, and that's a toxic side, but it doesn't always come out.
I feel like I'm the same, like, but I feel like I've never
I just now hermit
gotten revenge, like,
I
or
just hermit
done something,
now.
you know?
I just like
I'll say like, fuck you, I hate you, whatever, but I don't go and like do things to get back at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh shit.
But like I'll talk shit about you and hate
For
you
sure.
forever, but like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go out of my way and fucking do something.
Yeah,
You know?
I guess that's like what I mean exactly by like instead of like talking shit about someone in order to get a promotion,
Unless I really, really hate them.
then yeah, but I mean it's also like depends on what they do and everything,
Exactly.
obviously, and like yeah, it's just like it's oh dude, I don't know, like this age that we're at, like I don't know about you guys, but like this has been so fucking weird because I still have like high school tendencies where I want to be like, dude, fuck this, I'm young, I can do all this shit, but all at the same time I'm like, fuck, dude, I need to fucking, I got rent, I got insurance, I got this, I got that, like all this shit, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I can't be like fucking around like a kid anymore, like at all. I'm like, even though everyone calls me that, you know, like I need to get out of what other people call me versus what I think of my, or what I should be thinking of myself. And that's like next week's therapy session. So yeah,
I need a therapist.
Yes,
it's dope.
I used to go to therapy with my family. Did I tell you about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Oh, did I tell you about that too? Okay.
It was at my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, when I say things, I just say things.
I feel it. I sometimes, dude, honestly, like I feel like that's why I feel like people are just like, you're a lot. You know,
Me?
with me.
Am I?
She was like, what?
No. Like with me, it was just like where like I'll like if I just met you, I'd rather give you all my shit right then and there and let you decide. You know,
I'm with you. I'm like, I will show all my crazy right off the bat, just so it weeds out, you know, the ones who can't deal with it. Because
Yeah.
I'm a very open, I'm a very intense person. I'm not going to deny that, and it is what it is. Take me or leave me. That is, you know, I think, and that's also as we get older. It's
I don't
like,
think you're an intense person.
Oh,
I think
thank
you're
you.
Just, I don't know. I wouldn't say you're intense though.
Danny.
what?
What were
Danny
you gonna
probably
say?
is.
What's the question?
You think I'm an intense person?
You? I think you. Nah, I'm just kidding. No, I think honestly, I think we are both.
Okay.
I think we both carry a lot of energy, and sometimes it's not directed towards the target. Sometimes it's just shooting. You know what I mean? And sometimes it doesn't. Like we displace our energy onto things that shouldn't have ever even been towards, and I do that to a fault also. Where like I can be having a conversation with someone, a complete stranger, and then they piss me off, but then next thing you know, it reminded me of when so and so pissed me off. So now I'm just like, well, fuck you, that I'm not gonna let it happen twice. Like, nah, fuck you, and that's how I get in my head. I'm not gonna actually do anything, but in my head, that's how I am. And then I'm just like, oh shit, I'm crazy. You know, like I am crazy, and that's cool. So shout out to all my crazy people. And like, yeah, like literally, like it's just like I know my brain. I know who I am, but it's so hard for me to like really articulate like to others like I'm a weirdo, you know? Like that means different things to different people.
Yeah. Because I'm a weirdo too.
Right. And like it's
not in that way.
and not in this way, right? But like, you know, but like, you know, it's just like it's hard. And like that's what I've been like finding very difficult the older we get, because it's not like we're in high school where we spend 8 hours with each other. We're just like, I mean, we're now with our coworkers, but now we're supposed to be like doing work, you know? Like this is how we get like feed ourselves and like do our shit. So it's just like it's just been like a weird like transition, I guess, you know, being 26 and like trying to like 30's knocking on the door, and you're just like, fuck, dude.
You're there the other day.
Dude, like it's crazy to me. And like my nephew, when I'm 30, my nephew's gonna be fucking 10. No, he's gonna be like 11, 12. Ali's gonna be 10.
Already? Oh my god.
Oh my god. Well, in 4 years.
Wow. I mean,
Fucking gross, dude.
Dude, don't say that. It's gonna go by so fast.
It's and like these are like the times that we're supposed to be like
I know.
figuring it out, figuring the end out, right? Like
For the
is 30 the end?
No, 30 is the start.
no, but like figuring out the end, like this to me seems like this is like the second. What do they call it in movies? Like the third act, of the first part of your movie, right? Like the third act is the final thing, right? Where it's supposed to be the climax already happened. Now we're just trying to like figure out what the resolution and what the movie's supposed to tell us, right? Until we go into the second part of our saga, and which is our 30s. And our 30s are gonna be hard hitting with failure, either kids or moving in with people,
I know.
doing hella shit, like that part, right? And like that's another, until you're like 50, and then 50 is retirement. Like when you're thinking about retirement, did you raise your kids right? Like all this shit, and like that's the way I think about life anyways. And it's like daunting, super daunting when you think about it like that, where it's just like, these are your parts, do it. Like, and it's just so crazy. And that's what's in my head most of the time.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Which is why you
It's
go
a
to
lot of
therapy.
pressure.
There's a lot of pressure.
Well, also it's just like being the only guy in a Mexican family.
Yeah.
It's like
Wait,
where
did
you're.
you say you're the youngest? No.
I'm the youngest
Oh,
and
you
the
are.
only one,
Okay. I'm
and
the
the
youngest too.
favorite.
I'm the youngest and I'm the only female.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're no, you're not the youngest.
I'm the middle of three in
three
total.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's a very female-oriented household,
Yeah.
which is why I don't feel like I understand men very well because
I grew up with
Only
Well,
guys, pretty
yeah.
much. That's why I think like our dynamic works well, because it's like I grew up with only females, you grew up with only guys, so we can kind of meet in the middle a little bit. But like you're still
since
a
I was
girl,
little, all guy cousins.
Yeah.
Because the one girl cousin I had who lived there, she was older than me, so she was like not playing fucking games,
she's like, I'm not but
Yeah, she's like, I'm too old.
Yeah. Just trying to sneak beers and shit.
for real.
Yeah. But yeah, fucking Caitlyn Jenner's crazy, am I right, dude?
Yeah, I was like, what were we talking?
Caitlyn Jenner.
I was literally gonna say, what were we talking
transphobic.
about?
We got off track as per usual.
Yeah, this is how it really is,
Yeah.
though.
Well, any other hot button topics?
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay.
Hot button topic.
Well, like, what do you think about that? What do you think about like a sorority, like allowing a transgender person to come onto a sorority and then all of a sudden being like, oh, actually, we don't fuck with this anymore?
Well, I think it kind of goes back to this whole, even in terms of Leah Thompson, that swimmer that had participated in women's swimming, and I think
it's illegal now for.
Yeah, I do know. Yeah, they made that a law. So transgendered women are not allowed to participate in women's only sports, whether that be swimming.
Like any professional, any professional
and
sport.
so it kind of goes back to in scientific terms, what they were trying to say is, since this individual had already gone through puberty, they encompass these male physical traits that women just cannot.
Genetically, guys are just, we're the same height. I will fuck the both of you guys up. I will fuck the both of you guys up. You know what I mean? Like for real though.
And
like,
so in scientific terms, they're basically
but
trying
I
to say
feel like
this.
there's a lot of strong ass women.
For sure.
And
But
so-
like
and so
to
that-
equivalent of a male,
Like if they go at each other, the strongest women in this.
well, no,
the
just
strongest
imagine.
woman.
Just imagine. Put a 6 foot woman, 155 pounds alongside, or 160 pounds alongside a guy who's 6 foot, 160 pounds. Who do you got on a fight?
See, I guess I'm just a fucking feminist.
I mean,
I think we're
no.
just as strong as men.
Well, biologically, sadly, no.
Yeah.
And like the
No,
amount,
I know.
the
I'm
amount
like,
of the amount of boyfriends I've had, and I'm like, let's pretend like you're trying to kidnap me, and let's just see if I can get away. I physically cannot. Like,
And they're not even like bodybuilders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not even trying. And I
No,
literally,
I know.
I like, and it constantly worries me. I'm like, like as a woman, you want to think like, oh, I can protect myself. I could definitely like. and then like playfully like my whoever I'm hanging out with is trying to grab me, we're wrestling, and I'm like, I genuinely would not be able to survive. Like I would get taken so quickly.
That's why I'm
like
scared to have children, because I want them to fucking defend themselves. Like I'm gonna put them in fucking karate. They're gonna be UFC fighters.
Dude, I'm waiting until I'm like rich enough so I can genetically modify my kids and be like, dude,
Yeah,
for
a
real
bunch
though.
of little
Make 'em
LeBrons
strong and tall.
Currys.
Dude, strong, tall. I'm just mostly, dude,
Athletes.
5'8". That's not even
gosh.
tall. That's just taller than me. You know, like that. I'm not
Danny
even
just wants a
asking.
baby in general.
Yeah, I do want a baby. So if you're looking for a baby daddy who is going to be there for your child and not you, let me know.
Danny has constantly asked me for me to carry his child.
I need something to live for, guys. Depression.
Aw.
Yeah, and so I think people who only
Live for yourself.
who specifically have
It's so
children
weird. I
so that
can't
they
just
have
only
someone
think
to
for myself.
love.
This is why I also really love cooking for people. I really love like that. To me is so much. Giving to others is so much more better than people giving me things. Like I don't want the attention necessarily. I don't want the gifts. I just want the thank yous for doing this for me. That hits my heart a little harder.
I feel like I'm the same way.
So,
So I
you
love
know?
giving gifts.
And you want your little.
I like
you
to
want
see your
have,
face when they're
Yeah.
like when they're opening it up and they're like, oh, "You got me this."
Because also
Like,
I take I'm like picking it out, like would they like this?
right.
Would they not like it?
It's the intention that you're
Yeah.
intent that you're doing it with, and it's just like,
feel
dude,
you.
like, I don't know, man. It's just like,
And you can tell if they don't like it too. You're just like, you didn't like it. Huh?
yeah, and which hurts a little more.
Yeah, I'm just like, I got the receipt.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah. But also, I mean, you guys probably heard about it, but you guys probably don't know to the extent. But John Morant, out here fucking gang, you know,
Yes,
pulling out his gun on another live stream or another Instagram live, or I think it was his boys
Was
live.
this
this time.
at this was at a strip club this time, or was
No.
one
The
at a
first
strip
time was
club?
a strip club.
This
The second time
what?
was at a party. The third time, which is this time, was in his boy's car. So
Oh,
like
that's right,
they're
that's
like
right.
doing what
Okay.
we would be doing at 21 years old, just like smoking a blunt with the boys, because everyone in the NBA is high as fuck. Like this NBA is the only professional league that you can smoke weed. So like
Oh,
literally,
I didn't know that.
Wait,
Ev-
NBA?
the NBA is
I thought it was only UFC.
no. At UFC you can't do that. You have to like cut it off for a certain amount of time.
Really?
For a certain amount of time, you know, but they tell you when they're going to test you. Like Nate Diaz and like the Diaz brothers, essentially, all they do is smoke weed.
That's
Sugar
right.
Shane Mosley or whatever. What's his name?
Yeah, but he was on a podcast recently talking about how he barely smokes.
Yeah.
He just like got the persona and got that whole like everyone thought.
Oh,
he
and
was
the
a stoner.
flagrant one, right?
Yeah,
I did
was
see that
like,
one.
what? You're not even a stoner, my guy.
Sorry,
But
I'm
it's all
thinking,
good.
I'm still thinking about the Caitlyn Jenner thing.
Yeah.
What did she have to do with that incident of the
Oh,
sorority?
she's the one who brought it to my attention.
She
She was like
talked
bringing
about it.
and she was like, yeah, that's
Saying
right.
that was bad.
She shouldn't have ever been there. She's like, they all have like male tendencies. I was like, bitch, you're one of they. Like,
It's a sorority though. It's females.
It's for females.
Yeah.
And she's a transgendered woman.
yes.
Yeah, it's like
But now the sorority is pretty much claiming like, oh, but they're like maybe looking at me a little too long in the shower or whatever the fuck it is. I don't really know the details of this story. But Caitlyn Jenner was just like, oh, like,
I've been
Like-
hearing about her being trans, like weird about transphobia.
I mean,
Yeah.
for a while,
And
she's
it's like,
also
dude,
anti-gay
she's also a
rights.
Trump supporter.
that's what I heard,
yeah, she's like anti-gay rights, which is so weird.
Well, there's
running
a lot
in
of
California.
because like my brother's gay, and
Yeah.
I grew up not saying any of the bad slang
F
or whatever.
words and shit.
Yeah, never said that. And like, there's some gay people that say that.
They say it all. They say
Yeah,
it more.
because it's more of the. It's
That's
more,
their N word. They're gonna say it all the time.
Exactly.
Like,
They're
what?
reclaiming the word.
I don't
Well,
get
yeah,
it.
I get
like
it.
the
I get
R
it.
word's coming back strong, dude.
Yeah,
Is
dude.
it really?
Yeah,
Comedy
You say it.
comedians and
Stop acting
stuff,
like you don't
podcasts,
say
they've
it.
been saying
When I'm drunk.
Yeah.
You know?
I say it sometimes.
Don't act.
but, like,
Don't act brand new on the podcast.
I mean,
Wow.
like stuff's starting to get
Pretty
uncanceled.
socially correct.
It's starting to balance itself back out because it was overcorrection.
Yeah, I mean, but also it's just like, dude, the more you tell people no, the more people want to do it, right?
Exactly.
So it's just like if you just don't like, if you just bring it, if you're not tweeting about it, but you're bringing it up like on your day to day, if you hear someone be like, you know, use the R word, use the F word, you know, whatever is the word that is offensive, you bring it up to them then. You don't do it on Twitter where they don't follow you. You know, like that
So,
makes zero sense.
Yeah, for sure. And I still think like reclaiming words like that are very important. I think like very unpopular opinion here.
Like the slut walk?
No, I mean, not. Yeah, also that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Slut-
like, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I also think like, okay, unpopular opinion here, and we might have to edit this out, but I quite enjoyed.
You're homophobic?
No,
My God.
but some may say after I say what I'm about to say.
What?
I quite enjoyed Dave Chappelle's stand-up where he was talking about
Oh my God.
trans people, and
Yeah.
it was very like people did not receive that well. And I think part of comedy, and I think part of being in social situations in which people aren't used to, like, what's going on, I think making light of the situations, laughing at it, making jokes of it normalizes it. And that's why I don't think he did that with any harm. I think it was more like, people are like this and it's kind of funny, but it is what it is. It's part of our society, and I think like,
Yeah,
poking
because
fun
you're a
of it makes
comedian.
it
You
real.
can make fun of
Dude,
whoever the
it's
fuck
just-
you want. But I think he was just like going. And like the whole show was pretty much like gay jokes.
Well, it's because he has
'Cause I watched it,
He
too.
has 3 stand-ups on Netflix, right? The first one he made that trans joke. The second one he talked about it, and the third one he had that story about his trans friend who killed herself, I think,
Yeah.
at the end. Sorry if I
Something like
ruined
that.
the stand-up for you,
Something
but
like that.
also it's been out for like 6 years. But yeah, like that to me was like it was the joke, the reaction, and then the period to everything, right? He hasn't brought it up since. He hasn't, he still makes jokes about trans people because it's a hot topic. We're talking about it, like you're not gonna not talk about it, and especially if you're the guy who talked about it, you're gonna keep talking about
Yeah.
it. But with that, like it's just so much of a conversation that like Bud Light put a trans woman on their can, like right now there's been like a huge if you're a Republican, you're like voting against like trans women reading to your kids, or like women or people doing drag, like they can't read to your kids, and that was a big thing. And it's just like, dude, like what are we talking about? This is literally like a percentage of 1% of the population in the United States, and we're making this big like hoopla about it. And I don't mean that to negate what they're going through, because like I know like I literally like have trans people in my family. So it's just like it's just like even them, they're like, dude, what are we talking about? Like, just like, yeah, we went through some shit, but like we're here now, like just let us be, rather than like treating us as a victim. And that could also be like, the hard ass Mexican people that I know, and that's just how they are.
Yeah.
And that's just, because like even as immigrants, like even as immigrants, it's like hard, you can't like speak up all the time. But like if we stopped working, white people aren't going to do it. Literally like business owners have been like, these white guys can't do it.
Jackie was just telling me about that.
Do it. Like it's crazy. Like, dude, and it's just like, it's not like that white people don't know how to work, but they don't know how to work hard, and it's just like that's the difference. And it's just like they're not doing it for survival. They're just doing it for ends meet. Because at the end of the day, white people can always just go to welfare, always collect their fucking food stamps, always do that shit. But like immigrants can't do that shit. They gotta eat. So they're gonna be on the corner. They're gonna be selling you fruit. They're gonna be doing whatever it is, Like if you just want a handyman, you got like one for $5 a day because they need that shit.
Yep.
And it's crazy and it's sad.
It's very sad.
But that's just like, dude, it's just like there's a lot going on, and like I don't think like kids our age like even really like care anymore.
No, dude.
It's so weird, dude. It's so
I
weird.
always tell like my friends that we're the last generation to like, care
Yeah.
about what's going on.
Like, unless you're like dancing about it, no one gives a fuck, right? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, we didn't give a fuck about ALS until there was a bucket challenge, But like, we cared at the end. We're like, oh shit, this is a real ass disease. Like, people are dying from it. I don't know where the money went. But yeah, it's just like, dude, like we're the only like. Yeah, it's just like so weird. Like I was telling, I forgot who I was talking to, but we were like, we're the last generation to be outside. Like we were outside,
seriously.
like we were out there in these streets,
I did
like
not have
talking
an
to people.
iPad.
Like
No?
no,
I have to go to the bathroom. Can
That's
we edit
fine.
this out?
Wait.
Sorry.
yeah.
I have to go to the bathroom.
But yeah, no. What Caitlyn Jenner was saying was fucking insane. But yeah. With that said, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the George.Daniel podcast. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you, Andrea, for coming through. Where can people find you and your photography?
AAC.photo.
All right. So everyone go hire her. She's fucking awesome. Her portfolio's all there on Instagram and everything. So make sure you go check that out. Sophia, they're going to see you in college, right?
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. And yeah, Matt, do you want to shout out anything or?
Not really.
Yeah, cool. Well, I guess you can find me at George.Daniel __. You can find all your Meraki content at Meraki.Bay for all the Bay Area stuff. Meraki sac.events for all your Sacramento stuff. I'm going to be pulling up in Sacramento June 11th. I also have a gig in San Jose on June 18th. I might be also playing in San Jose May 27th. At Noit. So yeah, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. This is gonna be a 2-parter, so stay tuned for that one. Patreon.com/George.Daniel. Here we go. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.